Okay. All right. So if you want to tell us what that is.
All right, so here I have a part of a door from a GMV that I've been kind of carrying around with me since 2007. So a little story behind this is 2007, September 25th. We were conducting operations, clearing and sweeping operations in Moose Kalawati down in by Major Shamali. So we had multiple special operations teams, 7th Group, Special Forces, and at the time it was 2nd Marine Special Operations Battalion, now 2nd Raider Battalion. As we were doing clears and sweeps through the Moose Kalawati, came under a pretty good attack, and what happened here is before we could move the vehicle to a different location, this vehicle was struck by a recoilless rifle round from about 900 meters away. Came in right behind, split the armor right through the rear door into the back, hitting a machine gunner and kind of hurting everybody. So I was on the passenger side of the vehicle, coming into the vehicle so we could move the vehicle as we were under heavy machine gun fire. When it struck, the door blew me open, blew me back, and knocked me unconscious.
You were awarded a Purple Heart.
I was, yes. Purple Heart, 2007, September 25th. So out of that one, there was seven Purple Hearts came out of that. This recoilless rifle round in itself. So it was a pretty rough day. So once came back from deployment, I talked to the folks that once this vehicle came back to the United States, I talked to them, and as they were disassembling it and rebuilding it from the frame up, I asked the guy if I could have a piece of the burnt steel from where, as you can see, where the molding for the door was, and the door kind of set like that. The windows here, you kind of see where it hit, burned as fresh as steel. All in all, there was initially one KIA out of that one, HM2 Luke Milam. A lot of people know who he is. There's hospitals named after him, clinics named after him. There's barracks out in Washington State named after him. He's also 2 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star, and he passed away there. Good friend of mine. He was my team corpsman, and then several years later, there was a Lance Corporal Drake, who I'm assuming from TBI. Several years later, he went to sleep and never woke up, and so talking to Sean here, and met Sean on a previous hunt, and we were just talking about knives and all this kind of stuff, and then this steel just kind of popped up. I've just been kind of dragging around with me since 2007, and we struck up a conversation, and we talked about it, and here we are almost a year or so later, and I was able to get some time in my schedule, come down here, and then we're gonna see what we can do with this thing, and make a very personal and memorable knife.
So I'll tell you a little bit of background. The very first one I did was for Mike Mosier, who's a retired command sergeant major in the Army. He bought me some bomb shrapnel. I'll have to get a picture of that knife that we put together, and we used a handle from Blackbeard Island in Georgia, where he did hunting. And then the next one was from Brian Arabinko, which was a piece of AR plate like that was hit, I believe, with a recoilless rifle, and he brought it to me. He'd been using it as an ashtray for years and brought it to me, and then I tried to make 3 knives out of it, and only one worked. So changed what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that AR plate on the outside, and then our inner core is going to be 1095 steel, and then I added some thin nickel sheet, so we should be able to get a really good contrast. Hopefully everything will stick, but so we're going to get started. what we have on the outside is the armor, the AR plate from the vehicle. We have a piece of 15 and 20, which is a nickel-based steel. 2 pieces of 1095 for your center core. Again with the 15 and 20, and then the armor plating on the outside. So that's the way that stack's going to be.
My cord takes forever to get up to the
Alright, go ahead. Alright, so put it back in the fire.
It's a lollipop. Don't scare me, Blaine.
So you want that just starting to turn bright. Maybe a little bit more. You're really, really close. Go in there deeper. Go in deeper. Okay, I like that color. Go ahead and go straight into the oil and go back and forth like you're cutting it. Back and forth like you're cutting it. No, back and forth. You're swirling.
I saw you take off.
They didn't do back and forth on the Marine Corps?
No, it was up and down.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. Now it's a knife, and let's see if it's straight. Straight as an arrow.
Because I am.
Oh, I'm actually recording now, so thank you for that. All right, so what do you think? So we got it forged, put it together. You got it quenched. We've tempered it, we've ground it, and we're in the first stages of getting the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we worked on it pretty good bit. I think mostly you worked on it. I helped out a little bit here. But you know, seeing a piece of armor that had saved lives, and then yet there was lives also lost at the same time. Be able to be turned into something like this is you know, it kind of leaves you a little speechless, I guess you could say.
Well, I know you got to go home tomorrow, but we're definitely not finished with it. So we're going to try some new stuff that we've got, and then but yeah. So there's some special touches we're going to put on this that had the sergeant major told me this before we hardened it would have been a little bit easier to accomplish. But so when you're hitting, when you're hitting on a piece, you're going to be grinding on a piece of 61 Rockwell steel. It ought to be fun. But we're going to get it done. Well, Eric left to go home this morning, and we got started working back on the knife again, and I had a D-lam on it. Welding this AR plate to carbon steel is extremely tough. So I came back in, I started another billet, and I've got it sitting here and it's ready to go. And then I just got to, I don't know, I decided about it, prayed about it, and I said, well, I'm gonna follow these D-lams and see what we can do. Well, we've changed the shape of the knife now a little bit, and it is solid. We've got everything out. This is what it wanted to look like, and that's what it's going to look like. So this is going to be serial number 001. So Eric hasn't seen this. I told Eric that the knife failed and that we're going to have to start over, but this is the actual one that he forged welded, and he went on and he thinks we're doing a second one. So I'm going to continue on with this. This is a hand sanding process, and get a mirror shine to it, and then hopefully we're going to do a gun blue. All right, so we got an hour or two of sanding and polishing, but we now have a mirror polish on this. It's kind of interesting that AR plate won't go mirror finish across here. It's actually staying rough. I can't get it, but I think it's cool. We're going to leave it like that, and hopefully when we blue it, it's going to really stand out. All right, so it's off to Joe Bay for laser engraving. All right, we got the blade back from Joe Bay from engraving. It's kind of hard catching all this. Got our mirror polish. It's engraved. It's got the 2nd Battalion logo on it with his name and serial number 1. And that is nitro blue. So as soon as that gets to about almost 600 degrees, the knife will go in it and we're going to blue it. Hopefully it turns out good. All right, this is to me, it's really cool because the armor stayed purple and the carbon steel or the hardening steel went blue. So anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it really stands out. All right, so this is the finished product. Since 2nd Battalion's colors are red, white, and blue, Erik asked me to put a red, white, and blue handle on it. The Afghan service ribbon, where he earned his Purple Heart. We tapered the tang. And I think what's really, really cool is the fact that the armor turned purple. I prayed about it before I did it. I wanted it special. And to me, it's amazing that turned purple and the knife grade steel turned blue. And to honor him, I think is pretty cool. So, not anything that I did. But that's the finished product. Erik, I hope you like it. Thank you for your service, sir.